Hey there, it's Tom Corsonoles, and right now I want to talk to you about some of the Amazon house rules. These are the rules, the agreements, the terms of service that you and I, as Kindle publishers, have to agree to and abide by when we're publishing books on Kindle. So the very first rule that you have to understand is that there is absolutely no duplicate content is allowed on Kindle. What this means is, let's say you are a blogger right now, and you've got a blog with all these great blog articles and information on your blog. Well, if you just copy and paste those articles into an ebook and publish that on Kindle, that is a violation of the terms of service. Amazon will detect that and they will block that book. They will not allow it to go live on Amazon. And if you do that more than once or twice, they could even ban or block your account entirely or ban you from Amazon forever. So it's very, very important that you do not publish duplicate content. Even if you own the copyright to it, even if it's your content, it doesn't matter. If it's available somewhere else online already, Amazon will not allow you to publish it. Now, they will allow you to publish it if it's an ebook. So if you have an ebook on your website, as long as it's not indexed completely in Google, they will allow you to publish it. But if you have a downloadable PDF on your website and that's indexed in Google, that PDF itself comes up in the Google search results, Amazon will detect that and they'll actually send you an email. And that email will say, "We've noticed that the content in your book is available elsewhere online. Please tell us what URLs it's available at and why it's available, and please ensure that you own the copyright to it," etc., etc. And then if that's the case, then what you can do is email them back and say, "Yes, it's available at this PDF on my website. I own the copyright. I'm the author." And usually they'll say, "Okay, that's fine," and they'll let you publish the book that way. So just make sure you understand no duplicate content. If you're going to use old articles from your blog posts, what I would recommend doing is completely rewriting them so that they're new and unique and no longer duplicate content. The other option I've seen some people do, which I wouldn't personally recommend, but I've seen some people take their old blog posts and delete them from their blog and then publish those as an ebook, and that's one way to do it as well. But I think personally it's just easier to write new material and new content, especially if you're an expert on the subject. It shouldn't be a problem for you to just rewrite the ebook. The next thing you have to understand is public domains. So if you cannot publish public domain works on Kindle, well, technically you can, but a lot of the public domain works have already been published on Kindle. This was a big gold rush years before I even got started on Kindle. There were a lot of authors that were taking public domain works that had their copyrights had been expired, the authors were long dead, and they were publishing books like Think and Grow Rich on Kindle and making a lot of money doing that. But now Amazon's kind of cracking down on that. They understand that almost all of the public domain works out there have already been published, and so they're much stricter with the public domain works. For example, you can't do KDP Select for public domain books, and there's a lot of other regulations around it. And trust me, I've tried it. I've tried to find these old public domain books that haven't been published before, and I published them on Kindle, and the best one sells 2 copies a month, so that's $4 a month. It's definitely not worth the time, the money, the effort, the energy it takes to do it. So I would not recommend publishing public domain works. And if you are going to do it, I would recommend being careful, because Amazon could get mad at you if you try to publish a public domain work. They have certain regulations about it, so if you're going to, make sure you read the terms and conditions of publishing public domain works on Kindle. Now the next thing you have to worry about is copyright violations. So here is the U.S. copyright website, and this is the entire copyright law. So I highly recommend that you read the law, you understand it. I recommend you also get an attorney who can advise you on matters of copyright law. I am not an attorney. I cannot give you legal advice. I just can't. It's just not allowed by law. But I will just tell you that you have to be very careful when you're publishing on Kindle that you own the copyright to your works. That means owning the images or any images on your cover, owning the copyright for your cover. Any images or illustrations in your book, you have to make sure that you either own the copyright or have a license to use that copyrighted information. Same thing if you're taking large excerpts from other works, make sure that you either own the copyright or that you talk to an attorney and make sure that you're protected under the fair use laws and regulations of the United States copyright law or whatever country that you may be publishing from. Okay, the next thing is KDP Select. So that was what I just gave you was the overview of the basic rules of publishing on Kindle. But if you're going to use the KDP Select program on Kindle, which is the 90-day program where you're allowed to give your book away for free for 5 days, and you're also allowed to have Amazon Prime members borrow your book and you get paid for those borrows. If you're going to use that program, And there are some extra stipulations for KDP Select. For example, you cannot publish your book anywhere else if you're using KDP Select. The ebook only. So if you have an ebook that's also the same book as a physical book, then if you're going to do KDP Select, that ebook version can only be available on Amazon. It cannot even be available on your own website for download. That is against the terms of service. Do not do that. If you're going to use KDP Select, make sure it's only available on Kindle, nowhere else. The paperback can be available anywhere else, but the ebook must be available only on Kindle. Now, here's another thing that a lot of people don't understand is price matching on Amazon. So if you come down here and you go down to the product details of the book page, it'll have a little button here that says tell us about a lower price. What Amazon does is they price match everything on their website, not just books, but every single product on their website. They will price match it. What this means is if you have, let's say, an ebook you're giving away for free on your website, and you're trying to sell that same ebook on Amazon.com, if someone clicks this button and tells Amazon about a lower price, or if Amazon's search algorithms and their whole staff that looks for this stuff finds out that you're publishing a book on Kindle that's published somewhere else for free or for a lower price, they will price match it down to that price. What this means is if you're selling your book for $4.99 on Kindle and it's available on your website for $2.99 or on Barnes & Nobles for $2.99, Amazon will price match it down to $2.99. But if you're giving away your book for free on your website or anywhere else, Amazon, if they find out, they will price match your book down to free, and it will be free forever. Not just like a KDP Select 5-day promotion. The book will be free forever. You cannot change the price. You cannot raise the price ever. This can be a big mistake if you don't understand that it would happen to you, and you will never make money from that book again. Like that. Now, this can be actually a really cool strategy if you do it on purpose. Maybe you have a book that you've written that you want to give away for free on Kindle and get hundreds or thousands of downloads every week for eternity. That's wonderful if you're using that book for lead generation. But if this book is one of your books that you want to make money from, do not ever offer it for free somewhere else, because Amazon, if they find out, they will price match it down to zero, and you will never be able to raise the price again. So that's a big mistake I've seen some authors make, and I don't want you to make that mistake. So these are the general rules of the game when you're playing on Amazon. There are more rules and regulations and things like that, but these are the big ones you need to watch out for. Everything else is pretty much common sense, but these are the ones you might not understand that could really get you in trouble. So make sure, watch this video again and understand all these different rules. First of all, I'll repeat them: no duplicate content, no public domain work, or if you're going to publish public domain work, make sure you're very careful, read the rules and regulations when you do it. I would recommend just avoiding that altogether. Next is copyright laws. Understand copyright laws. Make sure you own the copyright to anything you're publishing on Kindle. And then if you're using KDP Select, make sure you understand you cannot publish the ebook anywhere else during the 90 days of KDP Select. And finally, Amazon price matching. Don't offer your book somewhere else for a cheaper price unless you want Amazon to price match your book down to that cheaper price, including the free price. Okay, hope that helps. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.